Roy, how do you see it all going today?
I love it. This is everything that football is about, the passion, the noise. Again, the guys in the tunnel now, we're trying to get their breathing down, trying to get in the zone, but there's no way you cannot hear that noise, not feel the emotion. I think it's going to play out to be a really interesting game. Hopefully there's goals for both teams. I think Galatasaray will look at this and say, we can beat this Juventus team, and I know this Juventus team will look at Galatasaray and say, we can beat them. So it should make for a great game. Hopefully it's not a cagey affair, because obviously it's over 2 legs.
Yeah, listen, Galatasaray, one home loss all year. Not easy to do with the competition they have, not only there domestically, but playing the 8 games in the Champions League as well. This is a team that beat Liverpool. It's a team that drew against Atletico Madrid. So it's a team that's more than capable to compete against a side like Juventus.
Okay, we'll see the second leg to come from Turin next. But first, let's see who holds the advantage. We'll see you at half-time, everybody. Enjoy.
Dampener on things. Talking of damp, the rain's spitting here in Istanbul. The pitch is going to be a little bit slippery underfoot. Juve failed to win their first 4 league-based games, but then rallied late on to win against Paphos, Benfica and Bodo Glimt, helping them to a 13th place finish as they missed out on the round of 16 by only 3 points. So it's another round for them to negotiate now. The Champions League playoffs start here in Istanbul. This place is rocking. Galatasaray against Juventus is just moments away. Five changes made by Galatasaray boss Okan Buruk for this one. Shakir continues in goal. Fresh fullback to Saloy and Jacobs come in for Boyan and Mala. Mario Lemina is suspended in midfield and Gundogan makes way. Torreira and Salah both start. Mauro Icardi drops to the bench with Baris Yilmaz coming in to give the host an extra man in midfield. Victor Osimhen starts up front. He's had a great run so far. 6 goals in this competition. Leroy Sané returns to the bench after missing their last 4 games. One of the most experienced referees on the continent is in charge of this one. It's the Dutchman, Danny Makely, who has the whistle. The 2 captains, Abdul Karim Pardacha, as well as Manuel Locatelli. So Juventus have kick-off, but it's Galatasaray up to stay on their favoured side. Luciano Spalletti's made 2 changes to the side that lost against Inter on Saturday. Michele Di Gregorio was criticised in that game but starts here. Kalulu was sent off in that match and it sparked some angry scenes in Milan, but he's kept his place. Turn Koopmeiners has started every European game and replaces Fabio Miretti. Kefren Turam also starts because Jonathan David hasn't travelled due to a groin problem. So it looks like McKennie is possibly going to start as the furthest forward, with Lois Openda still left on the bench.
This match is brought to you by Heineken, UEFA Champions League official partner.
Early kick-off by Champions League standards, but it's just coming up to a 8:45 here in Turkey. Turkey international in the Juve ranks tonight in Kenan Yıldız. Juve changed colours for this one. Home kit for Galatasaray, the unmistakable home kit that you see everywhere around this passionate city. The first Champions League knockout playoff tie is underway in one of the great hotbeds of European football. Galatasaray ended the league phase winless in 4, while Juventus ended it by winning 3 of 4. Second leg to come in Turin in 8 days' time, but all the preparatory work is to be done here tonight. Galatasaray in possession early on. They're hoping that despite missing Mario Lemina in the middle tonight, they will have enough to give them a positive advantage to go to Turin with 2 for Tech next week. Locatelli's header down. Out off the boot there of Kefrem Turam, who's returned tonight. And Bullock has been in charge of this great club over 3.5 years now. Has to be careful tonight. If he's yellow carded, he'll be banned for the second leg. On to Davinson Sanchez. Really long high ball from the Colombian. Away by Kalulu. Well, you might see in plenty of European stadiums that fans on the two sides sat down, but everyone is stood here, including Luciano Spalletti. That is side 5th in Serie A at the moment. They really do go to whistling school in Turkey. They know how to make an atmosphere all right. Here's Turan. Yildiz unable to get after that one. Saloy's throw. Was he caught late there? The referee peering from a distance away, but points for the free kick. Pereira taking the free kick here for Chimbo. Well on here for Yilmaz. Akgün, who's caught there. The referee racing over to point for the free kick. And the home fans did not like that one bit. Locatelli was who went in. Went in hard. An early reducer from the skipper. Free kick taken by Gabriel Sara towards Osimhen. Around by Koopmeiners. And maybe a counter on here now for Weston McKennie. Seaman is tearing at him from behind. Conceição. Locatelli. Listen to this noise. This is something else. By Kalulu. Conceição. Bending but away comfortably at the back there by Torreira. Shakir. Get too much height on that, but Osimhen is there. Great hold of play. Galatasaray have only lost 1 of their last 11 games here in the Champions League. Defeat coming against Sinon Saint-Gilloise back in November. Juventus will be happy to get out here with a draw or maybe even a goal defeat given the way this has started against them. Another foul challenge, this time by Bremer. He's just not quick enough so far. Yildiz Akgün who got there first and really managed to ride the challenge in the end. Baracho. Sara, Torreira, 2 South Americans providing an axis for Galatasaray to work off tonight. Saloy, Yilmaz, Akgün, Sara, Akgün, taking aim! Well, that was travelling. Plenty of pace and power behind that there. Already scored twice in this competition this season on match days 1 and 3. That was just bending away too much in the end. And Gregorio worried as he flew across his own goal. Juve don't have a great away record in the Champions League in recent times. Just one win in their last 8 on their travels away from northern Italy. Win against Bodo Glimt on match day 5. After the start of the winter, Locatelli's given away another free kick here. He must be walking on thin ice already. At the heel there of Yilmaz. He'll be enjoying this so far. Even more so if his side can get the win tonight to make it 5 successive victories in all competitions. And since their last defeat, which was away to Manchester City on match day 8. They did manage to get through. Salah. Jacobs. Between two there. Juventus. McKennie. The finder's making the run. Danger has been seen off. Saloy. The ball is on if it can be played. Quite incisive enough to be a through ball going forward and really set Galatasaray on their way through Noah Lang, but from Juventus, a really fast pace to this game, open and expansive. Long gone are the days of the away goals counting for more in this competition. It's just 2 straight matches. Kelly. Turan. Good. Bremer intercepts and finds a pass in between the lines for McKennie. Oh, just about has enough pace there to find Conceição. Chico Conceição winning the corner, the first for either side. Spalletti will have known what his side were going to come up against here tonight, but they are unbeaten in their 5 matches under him so far. Referred from Igor Tudor at the end of October, and in this competition has managed to do pretty well. Bending in towards McKennie, out by Torreira. Lang. Joined in the transfer window just gone from Italian football. It's been borrowed from Napoli. Yilmaz. Fearless wide man as he's showing here. Sada. He'll hit this. 2 were closing down. Locatelli, the predominant one there. Buruk racing out of his own technical area to get this ball back into play. They want to keep the tempo up here, Galatasaray. Stunning ball there. Saloy. Too far ahead of Osimhen, straight through to Di Gregorio. Incredible energy in this arena here tonight. Crowd of just over 50,000 packed in. No more than 1,000 of those that have travelled from Turin. Yildiz. That was bending, taken away from goal by that deflection. It's another Juve corner. short option here. And to Locatelli. Now it's in, but too close to Xhaka. It's the Turkey number 1. So there's Galatasaray's main man in goal. Galatasaray always a really big pull for players across Europe, and the non-Turkish players they bring in by and large do really have so much experience. Club level and internationally as well. Saloy there with a late challenge. Saram wanting to continue, but on the ground is Yildiz here. He's only 20, he hasn't ever played for a Turkish club. A regular with the national team. Locatelli into McKennie. He's really become a utility player for Juventus over his time in Northern Italy. He's played in so many different positions. It's a credit to him that he can adapt. Kalulu. Contestal. Early in. That's the result. He only has the contract until the end of the season, Luciano Spalletti, but he would dearly love to go deep in this competition. At this stage where Juve fell last year, they're beaten by PSV Eindhoven. They've already beaten in the league phase back then. Here today is the first meeting of these sides since December 2013 in the old group stage, and Wesley Sneijder got a winning goal that day for Gala, just 5 minutes from time here. Juve's only previous visit to this stadium was the old ground that had some history behind it where they played previously. Xhaka cleaning up, getting rid of it quickly. Gabriel Sala. Pereira close too. Baracha. Sanchez with him. Baracha going long and direct for Yilmaz. They get the decision. The referee on this side, Hessel Stigstra of the Netherlands, feeling the heat from the Galatasaray fans behind him. Cambiato. Oh, Seaman steals in. Torreira on. Lower Lanka and shoot. Gabriel Sala does, and that's 1-0. In such good form domestically with 3 and 3, he's delivered on the European stage here for Galatasaray, and the Lions in front already. Well, Juve only have themselves to blame there, trying to be clever on their edge of their own box there. Kenan Yildiz it was who was caught in possession. Landed enough to keep the mood going, and Gabriel Sala with a trademark run from midfield to curl home beautifully. It's his first ever Champions League goal, and high fives all round on the Galatasaray bench. Juve can't say they hadn't been warned given the start that Galatasaray have made here. A heart to watching loved ones in the stands. It is now a Turkish lead to protect. Cambiaso. Both sides giving absolutely everything here. Great ball in, what a save! And the immediate equaliser from Turn Cupminers. Just mere seconds between the two goals. That old adage about being your most vulnerable when you've just gone ahead comes to fruition here. It was that first header from Kalulu that was spectacularly saved by Uğurcan Şakir. But Cupminers following in quickly. And he couldn't miss. It's his 23rd Champions League appearance of his career today, and his first goal. One each here in Istanbul. Well, if the rest of the tie can carry on at this pace, and with this kind of excitement, it is going to be quite the occasion. The only goal timed at 14 minutes 28 seconds, the equaliser 15 minutes 53 seconds. Minute and 25 seconds between the two goals. That is quite the response from the old lady. Yilmaz down again. Cambiaso is going to pick up a yellow card here, and that is a costly one for him because he will be suspended for the second leg next week. He had more than an arm there on Barış Alper Yilmaz, and with the tug of the shirt as well, he can have no complaints. Trots back in. Now has to watch his step. Lang. Free header. Karaca couldn't quite get the power or direction in the end to send it either side of Di Gregorio. Game really has the feeling of a Champions League final, given how both teams are playing in this one, let alone a knockout stage playoff. And it has been a thrilling watch. Safety first from Roland Saloy, who goes back. Şakir. Jacobs. It's been action-packed to say the least. Turn Cupminers' first goal in the Champions League this season, his first ever in the competition. Two debutant goal scorers. Goal scoring hasn't been a huge problem for Juve in recent times. They've scored 2 goals or more in each of their last 4 games. They have been a bit leaky at the other end as well. Thuram, McKennie. Thuram. 2 over here. Contestal. Kalulu, whose initial header forced the save from Şakir, who set up the equaliser. Setter. Lulu back, Sanchez away. Now Gabriel Sala, who thought he was going to give Juve a bit of time to celebrate here, but it was short-lived in the end. Here they come again. Seaman takes it early. That's what this man can do. Capable of the spectacular, always unpredictable. He can whack them in from anywhere. He scored 6 goals in his first 3 Champions League games this season, but he's scoring 3 after that. Three players have netted more than him so far in the competition, and quite the 3 players as well. Erling Haaland, Harry Kane and Kylian Mbappe. Mbappe way out in front of them with 13 goals across the first 8 match days. Saloy. By Kelly. Ball from the field, and Galatasaray will be quite happy about the fact they've got to start again here, because that cross was bending straight through to the goalkeeper from Akut. Audio trying to marshal those in front of him. Jacobs with a long throw towards Baracha, and he was in there trying to clear. Yilmaz. Nice ball in by Jacobs. Seaman has stayed down on the floor here. Holding his space. That Maschi is now really a good luck charm for him. Having won it in his days at Napoli, decided to continue on even after he recovered from his injury. Bremer it was who challenged him. The Galatasaray bench studying the images of what happened there. Okay. VAR tonight back in Danke of Germany. A look, but no further action. For Yildiz. Touch on his ankle. Durant. Juventus looking invigorated after scoring that equaliser. Contexal. Durant. Set a few by watching the big game in Inter on Saturday with his dad, who was obviously there to watch his brother Marcus, instead of watching with the Juve delegation at the stadium. Cambiaso. Locatelli. Oh, he's lost it. And now has to chase. And that isn't easy against Akut. Seaman absolutely furious there. The ball wasn't played where he wanted it. Not a man too upset. possession. Fouling Yilmaz. It's for everyone, myself included, just to take a breath here. It has been frantic stuff in the opening 26 minutes. But now a problem here for Bremer. Stayed down. There might be a call for Federico Gatti to come on. That was the touch there on Yilmaz. Saw the free kick given. That's the opening goal. Salah arriving right on cue to calmly stroke it home. Here's a great view. Really set this stadium alight. It wasn't lively enough already. But then the equaliser, Kalulu's had a save and Koopmeiners following it. Shaka so frustrated as he palmed it straight back out into his 6-yard box. Koopmeiners also arriving at the perfect moment to score. Bremer speaking to the Juve doctor there just to explain what the problem is. Doesn't look as though he's going to play any further part, and the sub will have to be made. Issue it seems to be. He gets some pretty intensive treatment. Gatti is ready. Bremer, for now at least, wants to try and play on. We wonder how long he's going to last. He's currently playing with 10. Now he's back with us. Just wonder if he does have to sprint. Oh, he's going to be able to cope. He and Kelly do get played a little higher. They do have good recovery pace, it's part of their game. Now have lost it. Locatelli. Lulu's lost it now. Osimhen. Akun. Yilmaz will run in behind, but carefully tucked away by Cambiaso. Locatelli, far too calm and relaxed there. Osimhen! Comfortable for Di Gregorio. Such was Osimhen's distance from goal, he's had plenty of time to see it. Real Salah there with a teasing ball in. And the leap that Osimhen has is absolutely spectacular. Salah. Good missed out, Yilmaz. Akun now, free in there. Yilmaz, Osimhen. Well, he was being held a bit there. And he appeals to the referee for handball. Roberto Rossetti, the head of the UEFA referees, has been speaking in recent days just how they want to really tighten things up with VAR and not interfere when interfering doesn't need to be done. I don't think there's anything much to see there. Sanchez. Baracha. Lang. Square. Akun. And stopping it. Yildiz. Thuram. He's ranging. And going down in the middle. Thuram the same, but no free kick. Solera. This this game so far, everything you would want from a knockout tie. No sitting back. No pragmatism from either side. Kofinas, McKennie, and Kofinas, he's through again, and he's scored again! Juventus have turned it around, and they lead in Istanbul! Just look what it means to those travelling fans high up in the gods! Well, Sanchez came and didn't deal with it, that left a gap in behind, and Kofinas lashed it home. Before tonight, he hadn't scored since the Club World Cup last June. He's certainly made his impact on this game, and then some. Shakir could only watch it. Quite incredibly, Juventus lead by 2 goals to 1. Galatasaray left wondering how. That has quietened the home fans down somewhat. What next? Galatasaray have only ever lost 1 of their 24 Champions League games here at home when going 1-0 up. 18 wins out of 24 before tonight. That was a 2-1 loss to PSV back in October 2006. At the moment heading towards defeat. Yilmaz down again, holding his face this time. And the challenge by Cambiaso, already yellow carded. Well, if that free kick is given, which it has been by the referee, I think Andrea Cambiaso is extremely lucky to still be on the field. He's away. Okan Buruk noted as well, and that's why the arguments continue on the touchline. He has now surely got an orange card against his name. Anything else and he'll be off. And Bremer can't continue as predicted, so Gatti will come on. We do have to wonder what the future holds as well for Cambiaso. He might well be hooked at half-time. Leaves it for Gabriel Sara. He's behind off Locatelli. Lang is out there to potentially take it. He's the one spotting it up. That's all it goes. Moving further by Locatelli. Good. Comes to be off target. Okan Buruk not happy that Juventus haven't been reduced by a player. I think those arguments will continue long, especially if the scoreline remains. But he can't challenge in these kind of situations now. No foul there that time. Almost frustrated with himself, but he's got the beating. The players down this side, he's showed it time and again already this evening. Locatelli, nicely left there by Conceição, and they've got a man over in Kalulu right, but they go left instead. Free kick's been given here, now what? It was off the ball. Locatelli making representations to referee Danny Makali. ball. Watch the centre here. The referee was the one who was looking at it and blew fairly quickly as Saloy was caught in the face. Possible to keep up with this game. And now you wonder whether Okan Buruk has said something out of turn. I did say earlier that if he was yellow carded, he would be suspended for the second leg. One of the Galatasaray backroom staff has been called in along with Spalletti, and it's going to be a yellow card apiece. No messing. Buruk, though, getting his assistant to do the dirty work for him. And Spalletti goes into the referee's book. It might have been Irfan Sawalolu who was yellow carded there for Galatasaray, one of the assistant coaches for the home side. Gatti, his first involvement, away by Locatelli. Sao, smart once and twice. It's 2-on-2. It's McKennie. Nicely left. Yildiz. Kenan Yildiz. Sao will play in Kalulu. No, he goes for it. Confirmation of a yellow card for Spalletti. Hard to see how this game ends 11v11 at the moment. Far too many hot heads out there, both on and off the field, clearly. Sanchez. Saloy couldn't get there. Yildiz. Cambiasso, Locatelli, Cambiasso, Yildiz, Yilmaz, and Herrera going over, no free kick. Sara. Hook for Yilmaz to chase. Needed to get the touch there ahead of Kelly, who did really well, and he's won the throw. Excellent play by the Juve centre-half. Part of the side and played every minute of that knockout playoff tie against PSV last season, desperate to go one more at least this year. Just hoping to get to the round of 16 for the 14th time. Almost any Italian side has got that far. Fairly evenly split. Tenths likewise. Herrera. Another 5 minutes to go in this first half, but I don't think anyone wants it to end. Akun! Di Gregorio with a flying save. Good finder Zeus, now chasing a hat-trick of course. Akun, Osimhen, Gabriel Sara wanted to shoot, but he might have to be creator instead. And by Cambiasso, it's a corner. Didn't have to move too far, Di Gregorio, but it packed a punch, that shot. Sara will take the corner. And the scored in the Champions League before tonight is last goal in continental competition for his Brazilian side, Sao Paulo against Lanús in the Copa Sudamericana back in 2020. For for a goal kick. Baracha got the final touch. Came in hard. Seamen. Kelly towards Gatti, off Seamen. Besides, of course, already roughly know the route they've got towards Budapest if they can get through this tie. Either Liverpool or Tottenham, a Premier League duo waiting in the round of 16 for them, and then if they get through that, Monaco, PSG, Barcelona or Chelsea, one of those will be there in the mix as well. Hard out here. Only a yellow. Has been cautioned. No, it wasn't him at all. It was him walking past, but it was pointed in a different direction. Way back by Manuel Locatelli. Gregorio under pressure from Seamen. Kelly. Yilmaz. Torreira. Gabriel Sara. Jacobs. Lang. Noah Lang again. Playing in the league phase for Napoli. He featured at Copenhagen on match day 7, but they were allowed to alter their squad. Galatasaray following the completion of the league phase. Handball. Only 20 seconds of normal time in the first half. Those cold towels will be out at half time for both teams to just cool off. Hopefully they go at it again though after half time, because it's been a great watch and there's still 3 minutes to go before the whistle. Bentin, Baracha was there, Gatti up in the air. Sanchez, Yilmaz, Torreira thrashing at it. Akkum couldn't make contact. Break out here, good feet by Yildiz. By Saloy. Straight into touch. The referee will be getting a great reception as he makes his way off at half-time, and there might be a word or two down the tunnel as well after he failed to show that second yellow card for Cambiaso. Tonight becoming the 19th club to reach the 200th match of their history in the Champions League. For the moment it looks like it's going to be an unhappy night for them. And by Kalulu. Good. Lang. Jacobs. To work the triangle, but quite connect. Yilmaz. Sara hangs it high towards Osimhen. Lang, space opening for him. Plenty behind for a corner. It was Abdul Karim Badacha who actually got that yellow card. Captain caution. This might well be the last chance of the half. Towards Badacha. Seaman as well. It's the corner on the other side. Well past the allotted 3 minutes. This will be the final attack of the half. Overtime in added time. It's towards Badacha and over the top by Saloy. The whistle ends a quite brilliant opening 45 minutes of this tie that has been pulsating. It hasn't stopped. It's been relentless and beautifully relentless at that. This the last chance for Saloy, who couldn't quite adjust his feet to score. It was Galatasaray who went ahead after just 15 minutes of Gabriel Sada. Juve hit back, a brace from Turncup finest. At the break, they lead here in Istanbul at the Ali Sami Yenspor Complexi. It is Galatasaray 1, Juventus 2.
This match.
Italy every single weekend that they get the hit on the counter, and they looked really good, by the way, on the counter today. So they got midfielders running, they got their fullbacks involved. Kalulu was the reason why they scored the first goal. I thought he was fantastic in the first half. Cambiaso, another big reason. Obviously, he's the one who passes it to Kalulu on the first goal. So Juventus have been really good springing from a defensive position. The only goal they concede really is from just a kind of a silly, naive moment. So let's see what they can do in the second half. If they can stay defensively sound, they lose obviously Bremer through injury. If they can stay defensively sound, continues to be dangerous on the counter.
A couple of changes as well, it looks like, for Spalletti at half-time. Enjoy the second half, everybody. We'll see you after.
Been taken off, already on a yellow card. And he could well have been sent off in the first half, and Charles Spalletti has made sure that his side are not going to be reduced to 10. They're playing over 3 of the league phase games in some way or shape, but has mainly been a sub this season. That means now that Juventus have changed 2 of their back 4 they started with after Gatti came on for the injured Bremer in the first half. After header there by Kelly. Cabal's first involvement. Galatasaray led in this one after this 15 minutes, but Grace and Turncook Miners sees them trail now. Second brace in European competition, having previously got a couple of goals for AZ against Astana in the Europa League back in October 2019. The fine finish for his second goal here tonight. Saloy, that's to Sanchez. worked so nicely there for him, didn't it? That initial effort across goal is what really did it for Gala from Juventus, who peeled off McKennie, and Di Gregorio cover himself in glory at the weekend against Inter, who only crossed that out there to line. Fourth goal in this first leg. Who knows how many more there might be. Last time Galatasaray scored, Juve scored within 85 seconds. can move on. It was eventually a chance to finish it. Sal, and his legs taken away by Lang. Kelly. Free kick. The push there by McKennie, and Saloy having a go. The referee is saying as well, look, you've got the free kick, just get on with it. Move on to the next one. The fans not having it. It's low again. Kelly this time gives away the free kick. Someone's probably going to take a yellow card for the team sometime soon. Kick from a very deep position, and Juve keeping quite a deep defensive line here. Saloy, Osimhen, towards Sanchez and Torreira, always spinning away. Galatasaray come back. Got plenty of running in those legs as he's taken down, and Cabal will surely get a yellow card here. Cambiaso taken off because he couldn't cope with it, and now Cabal getting a booking, being told to get on his way. Cannot make a challenge like that and expect anything other than a yellow card. It was comfortably outside the box. Nothing to look at there. Confirmation of his booking. He is also going to miss the second leg. So Juventus are going to be out without two left backs for the match in Turin. third yellow card of the campaign. Gabriel Sara with the free kick. And in it goes! Delight for Jimbo! Sanchez celebrates! And this stadium is shaking once again. Well, how much of a touch was there? Minimal, if anything, but enough to take it past Di Gregorio. Gabriel Sara's ball in was an absolute delight, and there was a crucial touch. Let's have a look here. It might have been an own goal. Sanchez certainly taking the credit. It all happened so quickly. It might have gone in anyway. The Galatasaray back in front. 2 goals in the opening 15 minutes of the second period. Now it's Juve's turn. Offside. See by the cut in the grass that he was beyond the defensive line there, Kenan Yıldız. Well, those 2 suspended left backs now really does pose quite the problem for Spalletti next week. Of course, they've got to get through this first, but they're going to have to put someone out of position there, presumably. And Yilmaz has already given a real hard time to the 2 natural fullbacks there. Lloyd crossed there, a man who has played in that position obviously in his time in England. Kelly stepping out of the back line there and winning a free kick. He's now posed the referee as to whether a yellow card should be shown. For Galatasaray as well was that before tonight only Victor Osimhen and Akrun had scored in this competition this season. They've got new scorers this evening, Gabriel Sara, Lang and now Sanchez as well. Scored his ever Champions League goal. Good minus by Sanchez. The handball at Yilmaz. Kelly demonstrating by the centre half in a foreign position. Seaman's quick. Kenny deeper at the moment. Sanchez gives it away. McKennie for Yıldız. Sanchez hobbling around. Lovely touch there by McKennie. Yıldız weaving his way through. It's a corner to Juventus. All hands to the pump against the Gala. Referee helping the giant defender to his feet. Gabriel Sara has now scored one and made one. Five goals overall in a fabulous game of Champions League football. Whipped in high towards Kelly. His hand not down, but not on target. wanted it to drop. And he didn't have the pace to keep it in. Sloyd down on her knee, but up again now and okay. Locatelli. Baracha. Back home to Xhaka. Takes the risk by playing it to Sanchez, who's boxed into a corner to put the ball out of play. Torreira backwards. Just moments for a good few thousand inside this arena. Here in the far north of the vast city of Istanbul, some 16.5 kilometres north of Galatasaray, stands proudly down by the Bosphorus. There's the card coming out here, and this time it's going to be a second yellow card, and Cabal is sent off. He's only been on the field 21 minutes. Galatasaray felt wronged when Cambiaso wasn't dismissed in the first half for 2 yellows. Cabal, his replacement at half-time, is now getting an early shower. And Yilmaz, a man fouled once again. He has been such a thorn in this Juventus side tonight. As soon as the free kick was given, he left the referee with no option but to show a second yellow. Said earlier on there was no chance this was going to end 11 v 11, and so it has proved to be. Colombian to Colombian there as Davinson Sanchez has a word with his international teammate Juan Cabal. They will no doubt link together at the World Cup in the Americas later in the year. Here tonight they're separated because of that red card. Sanchez had his say. Cabal, in a negative way, has had his say in this game now as well. So here we go again. Juventus now with a goal deficit and a man light as well. Well, hasn't been red carded in some years. He was still playing in his home country of Colombia the last time he was sent off for Atlético Nacional back in 2022. Breaks down again there between Akun and Osimhen, not for the first time tonight. Gregorio going long. Juventus about to make a change, but here's Kalulu. They need to plug the gap at left back. Someone is going to be sacrificed further forward. Herrera cuts out that ball from Locatelli, but offside against Akun. I wonder whether this second half is going to be as frantic as the first. The answer is an emphatic yes. Filip Kostic will come on here. He was on loan of Fenerbahce on the Asian side of Istanbul last season. With a full game here and a 0-0 draw. So we have a return here of Leroy Sané as they replace Yunus Akun. And I think that is Galatasaray trying to get as big a lead as possible before that second leg. hasn't played since the 28th of January. Been on the treatment table in recent weeks. Kostic will play just about in that left-back position. Cabalde, by the way, the first Juventus player to both be substituted on and sent off in a Champions League game since Juan Cuadrado against Real Madrid in the 2016-17 final. As well as having the most red cards in the history of this famous competition, Juve have now also had more substitutes sent off than any other side. Cabal number 4 tonight. And what a night. Yilmaz will play left now with Sané on. Gatti, pressurised by Osimhen. Locatelli, Di Gregorio hurried in his clearance. And that's the end result. Well, the counters are out here as they look to try and tweak their shape here. Galatasaray. Huge throw. Sané. Saloy. Turan. The break on here for Juve. Winless run at the moment looks set to stretch to 4 games. It'll be 1 win in 6 overall. Kelly courageous. Gatti. Too high. And rushed once again as Juventus are increasingly, as this game progresses in the second half. Spalletti without some key men at the front end of the field at the moment. Vlahovic and Milik didn't make the trip due to injury. David, a late withdrawal as well. He's going to have to come up with some plan next week to turn this one around for the old lady. Kalulu to Di Gregorio. Away by McKennie. Baracho. That's right, back line shouldn't be too busy in the time that remains now. So 3 more games to come in the knockout playoffs later this evening. A massive game ahead between Benfica and Real Madrid. Should be a thriller after their meeting only at the end of last month. Jacobs, Yilmaz, quite decide what to do with the ball at head height there. Oh, they've won it back. It's got to be. It's a 4th goal. Noah Lang at it again. What were Juventus thinking? This is the night they dreamt of. Istanbul, at least in 1/3 of it, will be partying tonight. Osimhen pinched it back there, and Lang just able to lift it over the goalkeeper as Kelly was caught. And now Chimbop able to extend their advantage. But the way they've conceded goals at times tonight, Juventus, they only have themselves to blame. Caught twice. And now with a 2-goal lead, and the suspensions that are going to hurt Juve in that second leg, Galatasaray will be red-hot favourites. Lang with his first 2 goals for the club tonight. Can they get any more? Not yet, they can't. Mauro Icardi is ready to come on here. Kostic. Looks like it'll be a costly evening for the old lady. Time to pressure things up for the home side. They are going to withdraw Abdul Karim Barakcha with a yellow card against his name. Wilfred Tingo will come on at the back. His conclusion here. So they are able to rotate one of the defenders. And also take off a man who is surely in for the Man of the Match award. He has been sensational. Barış Alper Yilmaz. So Icardi comes on, a second striker into the mix. He played up front with Victor Osimhen in the 5-1 win against Istanbul club Eyüpspor on Friday here. Scored a hat-trick. Osimhen. That's the only surprise in this match tonight, is that he hasn't scored one of the 4 goals. Lang, chasing a treble, that's behind off him last. Good call by the referee as well, a sharp spot. Spread high and wide. Saloy can play with a bit more freedom down that side now. Jacobs. Lang. After his first hat-trick since 2019. Starting to hurt with the noise we've had here tonight, but it has been a great occasion. Exactly what you would expect coming to a stadium like this, on a night like this, and a match with importance like this. Luis. of Pedda and Fabio Miretti coming on here. Kefren Turam's return is over. The man he replaced in the 11 now replaces him. And Kenan Yildiz also off here as Openda gives them a central striking option. To the final 10 minutes. Juventus is going to have to do some chasing next week. It will be a home atmosphere for them at least, though probably not quite as intense as this one. Lang. Jacobs. Lang. Singo. He'll have a go. Chasing his first goal for Galatasaray. He signed for €30 million from Monaco back in August. It would have been a fine way to open his account. More changes. We'll see Sacha Boey come on here. They give Roland Soloy a rest at right back with his introduction. Home fans want their side to go in here for the kill. They want to finish Juventus off. Lang loose. Behind. Off Torreira. Well, they have given absolutely everything to the cause tonight. El Muller is going to come on as well, so two changes at full-back here. Jacobs and Soloy will both come off. Also making way. Sacha Boey comes in. He's joined this month on loan from Bayern München. Back for his second spell with the club. Saloy just stay out there. You can see at the bottom of your picture he's now operating off the left. Kalulu. They're just trying to give themselves something to work with next week. Locatelli falling once and twice. Torreira wanting to commence, but teammates just telling him to take a chill pill. Ball's here to turn Koopmeiners. How long ago did you feel that he scored the second of his goals? A lot has happened in the game. Sanchez, great anticipation again. Gabriel Sara, he falls too. Hammered away by Xhaka. Kelly. Hardy can't reach it first. Hardy has a great goal-scoring record against Juve from his time at Inter. 8 in 14 against them. By Boey. Sané. out there. Singo. To Torreira. Juventus here are count on the edge of their own box, and it will be a grim 2.5-hour flight back to northern Italy for them following this game. They've got Como to come at home on Saturday before the return leg next Wednesday. A trip east for Galatasaray as they go to the city of Konya. It's a Sunday night match for them, so only a short turnaround time. Sané, Osimhen, oh, chance here for another, which they've got! Rammed home by Sacha Boey! Rejoining a club he had some great times at previously, and his first Galatasaray goal in just over 2 years might have ended this tie. Osimhen again playing a part. He might not have scored tonight, but he's done so well in that number 9 position. Bullying Lloyd Kelly there, nicking the ball away, and that invited Sacha Boey to join in the party. Juventus have been battered since half-time, and Galatasaray now lead this first leg by 5 goals to 2. Remember, they were trailing by 2 goals to 1 going into half-time, but they've won this second period 4-0. Still coming, Singo, trying to feed Osimhen, Sané, Boey, Sané, and waiting in the middle, they want number 6, Muller. Home fans are celebrating hard now. It's a famous night for them. In the stadium they're rarely beaten, unbeaten here in the league at home this season. Well, Union Saint-Gilloise might have emerged with the points at the end of November. They started the knockout phase here with an emphatic victory against the 10 men of Juventus. Muller trying to get beyond Kalulu, who tucks it behind for a corner. They just haven't stopped. Sada, they still want another. Osimhen, fist kick by Saloy. Defender trying to lead the charge out. He's got 3 around him. He does so with the free kick. They have been hustled like no other team I've seen this season tonight, Juventus. Under so much pressure from start to finish. decline there. Referee blowing. It's a free kick after a back was made for Wilfried Tingo. 2 minutes of additional time, which isn't particularly generous. There's some fall there for Tingo. Zane. Leroy Zane, who will gladly shoot from here, just slightly heavy with the touch. Torreira with the second wave. Sara, Gabriel Sara. Juve have a man down here. Osimhen not willing to put it out of play. Icardi, Torreira, Tingo, Osimhen. A man down again. On we go. Saloy. Icardi. Last 30 seconds. Well, 2 goals behind. It might have been manageable for Juve, but 3 goals might be one step too far. Osimhen, Torreira, angle tight. Deflection takes it away. An astonishing evening here in Istanbul has ended in an emphatic victory for Galatasaray. The best game I've seen this season, hands down, and maybe for Spalletti as well, but for all the wrong reasons from his point of view. Gabriel Sara had given the home side the lead after 15 minutes, but Turncoat Miners replied quickly for Juve with goals on 16 and 32 to give them a half-time lead. But Galatasaray came out fighting in the second half. Noah Lang with his first for the club, a first Champions League goal for Davinson Sanchez, made it 3-2 on the hour mark. Juan Cabal sent off for a second yellow card in 8 minutes to reduce Juve down to 10 men. Lang again and Bowie with 4 minutes to go means that after the first leg, Galatasaray have surely got 1 foot in the round of 16. Not everyone happy clearly, but most people inside this stadium waving their flags gleefully. Full time here at the Ali Sami Yen Sport Complexi. It's finished. Galatasaray 5, Juventus 2.
This match was brought to you by Heineken and Jing Dong.
Thank you.